That's the core question. The answer is, how do you get to it? I know that the only way you can get to it is through politics. You must first politically organize before you can amass the economic power.
May we take 2 quick responses from Judge Booth and Mr. Sutton, and then go
I just want to say that much of the attack here today, this evening, has been on Nixon. And I think everybody should know that we're not just on Nixon, we're on the entire society, the entire system as it operates. And I have had a chance to go to South Africa and to Namibia on a couple of occasions, and I've seen how our government, not just the president, but the Congress, the courts, and everything else, our government is sponsoring the racist regime in South Africa and in Namibia. I don't know, I think the media is responsible to a great degree because the media of this country, the press, television, radio, magazines, all of it, have kept from the American public the link between South Africa and the United States. I have found in my dealings in the American Committee on Africa and otherwise that, for example, our Defense Department permits the South African Post Office to use our tracking station in Pretoria, South Africa, for communication purposes. And for communication purposes in order to deal with the black people of South Africa who are now rising up. There is a war on in all of Southern Africa, and the United States is helping the racist regimes there to win the war against black folks by permitting free of charge, the South African Post Office to tack in to our tracking station in Pretoria. We are using the American government and all the American people and the only American tax dollars to help racism there. We likewise are sending ships, airplanes to Portugal so they can use them against black people in Angola and Mozambique. We're doing a great deal of these kinds of things. We're selling herbicides, and we're covering it up by selling these things to private companies, which in turn turn it over to the government and use them against black people in South Africa. And I think that maybe we ought to try to get these facts across to the American people, and particularly to the black American people, so that they can use them to dismantle if we want to. And look, Stokely, you go your way. And I think we can go different ways if we want to, but we've got to recognize we've got the same goal. And however way we each of us want to go, we ought to recognize that we do have similar goals and we can work toward the same end.
Sir, I've always been for unity in the black community, will always be for it. Our party, the All African People's Revolutionary Party, has been calling for a black united front, the meetings of all black people, irrespective of ideology. We want our people free. Thus, for example, I think this is very beautiful. It's unfortunate we can't get this unless someone calls us to be on TV. But I've always been for that. I learned that from Dr. King and from Malcolm X.
The Newark Black Power Conference, of course, 67, and all the rest since then have indicated the same kind of thing.
May we have a response from Mr. Sutton?
The question I believe phoned in was whether or not one agreed with the philosophy that racism, white racism, is an anger on the part of whites because they're not black. I don't think that at all. I quite agree with my sister Angela Davis that racism is really a matter of exploitation. It's an economic thing, and whether it's in South Africa or South United States or Northern United States, it is a method of exploitation, and the exploitation does not really benefit the whites. That is not the white working class.
Maybe I did disservice in, and I'm sure I did now, in recalling the theory, because what Dr. Welsing said was that race was the dynamic around which the political and the social system was organized to oppress blacks.
Well,
That makes a difference.
Yes.
That does make a difference.
Yes, it does make a difference in the question.
Okay, can we have a short remark and then take the next question? Nelson?
Yeah, my comment was on the same question. And I think it's important in terms of the solution or the approach to solving the problem, created by racism, that we come to some clarification again on what it is and where it comes from. And I'm referring to Stokely's comments about, that perhaps was not central. And I'm saying that you can't really devise a strategy to begin to deal with the problem of racism in the society without a comprehension of its source, because and why it's there, where it comes from, the motive forces that created it.